My name is Ken Ochsner, and I live in Baldwin City, Kansas. I run a few head of livestock. I run a liquid feed business. Have been doing that for almost 35 years. I basically grow hay and grass, and then I help producers also change their mindset on health for their cattle to try and get them to use other products that will enhance their immune systems in their cattle and get away from antibiotics entirely. I have not given a shot to my cattle for over 20 years, all because of the nutrition that I put into them. I use SureGrow, BioSureGrow on my hay ground and my pasture. I did it 2 years ago, and I never saw much response at all, but I did pull soil samples on my ground, and I had enough phos to grow a crop, but not any more than that. And I didn't put on any nitrogen or anything. I just put on BioSureGrow. And I wasn't too impressed with what I got. Last year I did it again, and only I added 50 pounds of N into the hay, into all the grass, and it was just like a kickstart. I mean, it took off, and it was unbelievable growth. Ended up with 63 bales, 1,000-pound bales off of 18 acres, and this is just fescue and brome, and it's all mixed and nothing special hay. The pasture, it was being taken over by weeds, giant ragweed and some other weeds that I didn't know what were, and anyway, you couldn't hardly see any grass out there at all. That was the first year. The first year it got a little less, and then last year put it on early, and in June, end of June, it was the most luscious, beautiful pasture you would ever want to lay eyes on. Absolutely gorgeous, thick grass. And I had 15 steers, great big steers running on it. They didn't even get out of the 5-acre lot. I had 30 acres, so they never even got out of the 5-acre lot. So does it work? You bet it works. And another thing I've noticed is that my pond is in a ravine, and my hay ground is on the east side and the pasture's on the west. I had a good 4-inch rain here about 2 months ago, and I virtually had no runoff at all off of that 4-inch rain into that pond. We talk about how the BioSureGrow goes down into the root system and opens up and aerates that soil, so you have less runoff of fertilizer and whatnot into lakes and streams and rivers and stuff. This is a simple example of how it works. Normally a 4-inch rain would have filled my pond, and it did nothing. If it raised it an inch, half inch, it raised it an inch or something. It didn't hardly raise it at all. This is after a long dry spell, so that soil was ready and able to take in that moisture, where normally after a long dry spell it sears off and the water runs off to begin with until it opens up. Well, it was ready to take it in, so that is a pretty amazing, and I know it has to be something with the microbials that's working in the soil.